Hello and welcome to a fresh new episode of Science Monitor, our weekly update on all that is happening in the field of science and technology in and around the country. Now, regenerating damaged cartilage to photographing solar activities and vast ice-covered stretches of the poles. We are back with an exciting new episode. Let us begin with the headlines. Aditya, India's first dedicated solar mission soon to be a reality. Regenerating cartilage, a new hope to cure osteoarthritis. Infosys Prize 2015 announced. Vigyan Prasad declares the 6th National Science Film Festival, 30th November last date for entries. And in our focus segment today, we will explore the theories that revolve around the melting of ice in the Arctic and Antarctic region. And now the news in detail. Aditya means sun in Sanskrit. As the name suggests, Aditya is India's first dedicated solar mission that aims to study the layers of the sun and the solar activities. After getting clearance from the government, the soon-to-be-implemented project aspires to place a heavy satellite to image the corona and the chromospheres of the sun. The mission also aims to collect data for space weather prediction. Let us see this report to know more about this exciting mission.
Expanding its wings further in the area of space research, India will now take over the sun after its success with Mars. India's first dedicated solar mission, dubbed as Aditya, is expected to hit the space soon, with clearance from the government. The solar mission aims to study the sun's outermost layers, the corona and the chromosphere, collect data about coronal mass ejection, and yield information for space weather prediction. The ambitious solar mission that costs approximately Rs 400 crores is a joint venture between ISRO, Indian Institute of Astrophysics, Inter-University Centre for Astronomy and Astrophysics, Tata Institute of Fundamental Research and other institutes. Conceived in 2008 and soon to be implemented, the project now aims to launch a heavy satellite in an orbit between the Sun and the Earth.
Aditya status is now we have started basic configuration etc. is getting frozen. We will have the preliminary design reviews etc. planned and then work on that will start. Basic approval has been completed.
A rarely attempted feat, the satellite is designed to follow a special circular orbit, also called the halo orbit, around a point known as the L1 Lagrangian points at a distance of 1.5 million kilometers from the Earth. The satellite is designed to carry payloads with high-tech instruments including a solar coronagraph, which will help image the solar layers based on the wavelengths of radiations they emit. The images and data collected by Aditya is expected to be helpful in discriminating between different models for the origin of solar storms and understanding how solar storms develop and what path they take through the interplanetary space from the Sun to the Earth. This is crucial as the solar flares are known to affect the space weather, which in turn affects satellite operations, interfering with their electronic circuitry, positional accuracy and GPS navigational networks.
Osteoarthritis, caused by worn-out cartilage and inflamed bones, is a painful condition that affects a large section of the adults today. While the existing therapies are invasive, expensive and provide only temporary relief, research from IIT Kanpur brings a new ray of hope. A team of researchers have deciphered the mechanism of cartilage formation in the bones and hopes to grow cartilage in the laboratory to replace the damaged one. Let us see this report.
With the changing dietary habits and sedentary lifestyles, joint pains and stiffness has become one of the most common health issues. While most of us take these as simple indications of aging, it might be a symptom of a more serious condition like osteoarthritis. Osteoarthritis, caused by the damage of connective tissues called cartilage that line the joints, is a serious problem today that affects over 52.5 million of adults across the world. The existing therapies for osteoarthritis involve the use of painkillers and invasive surgeries which are painful, expensive and only temporary solutions. But now, a new ray of hope dawns for the patients of osteoarthritis. From the research of scientists at Biological Sciences and Bioengineering Department, Indian Institute of Technology, Kanpur. The team of researchers under the leadership of Dr. Amitabh Bandyopadhyay has sought to understand the fundamental mechanism of how cartilage of the joints are formed during embryonic development. The study, based on genetically modified mice, gives a clue as to how and what molecular changes occur in the joints that stimulate the conversion of permanent cartilage that lines them to form transient form of cartilage, as it happens in osteoarthritis.
We have created certain transgenic mice which, after they become adult, we will affect molecular changes in their articular cartilage to promote transient cartilage differentiation, and would wait and assess and analyze to see if these mice eventually get osteoarthritis. If a gain of function that I am providing or my group is providing promotes osteoarthritis, then that will be a very definitive clue for us that if the same function we block in an osteoarthritic patient, then we might slow down the progression of the disease.
The knowledge will help block the steps that initiate the development of osteoarthritis and induce cartilage production in the laboratory to replace damaged cartilage. While the research is supposed primarily by DBT's Basic Research Division, the results of the study have been published in the journal Development. The study has important implications in understanding the process of differentiation of permanent and transient cartilage and holds immense promise of developing cartilage-based treatment of osteoarthritis.
Infosys Foundation Science Prizes for 2015 have been announced, and like every year, an eminent panel has selected the winners based on their outstanding contributions across 6 categories. So who are the lucky winners to bag this year's prestigious award? Let us see this report.
India is a large pool of experts in various fields. And the fact is proved once again with the announcements of the annual Infosys Prize by the Infosys Science Foundation. The foundation announced the Infosys Prize 2015 on 16th November and has recognized experts across 6 categories for their outstanding contributions. While this year's Infosys Prize for Engineering and Computer Science was awarded to Professor Umesh Vaghmare of Jawaharlal Nehru Centre for Advanced Scientific Research for his outstanding research on mechanisms behind specific properties of certain materials. The prize for Life Sciences will be awarded to Dr. Amit Sharma from the International Centre for Genetic Engineering and Biotechnology for his pioneering contributions towards deciphering atomic structure of crucial proteins of malarial parasite. Similarly, the Infosys Prize for Mathematical Sciences is to be awarded to Professor Mahan Maharaj of Ramakrishna Mission, Vivekanand University, for his contributions to geometric group theory, low-dimensional topology, and complex geometry. While the prize in Physical Sciences goes to Professor G. Ravindra Kumar from the Tata Institute of Fundamental Research for his work on the physics of high-intensity laser matter interactions. Coming to social sciences, this year's Infosys Prize for Humanities has been awarded to Professor Jonathan Ganeri, New York University, for his research on analysis and interpretation of ancient Indian philosophy. While the Infosys Prize for Social Sciences has been bagged by Dr. Srinath Raghavan of the Center for Policy Research for his studies that amalgamate military history, international politics, and strategic analysis to provide a perspective on India in global context. The winners were selected by an eminent jury comprising renowned scientists and professors across the world. The awards ceremony will be held on 13th February 2016 in New Delhi, where the Honorable President Shri Pranab Mukherjee will felicitate the winners. Instituted under the aegis of the Infosys Science Foundation, the prestigious Infosys Prize annually recognizes experts in various fields for their outstanding contributions to research and society. The prize for each category consists of Rs 65 lakhs, a 22-carat gold medallion and a citation certificate.
Vigyan Prasar is preparing once again to host its National Science Film Festival in February next year. Entries are now open to organizations and individuals who wish to submit science films under various categories, and the last date for submissions to compete in the 6th National Science Film Festival is 30th of November 2015.
Vigyan Prasar, in collaboration with National Council of Science Museum, has declared the 6th National Science Film Festival, also popular as the Rashtriya Vigyan Chalchitra Mela or RVCM. Entries are currently open for the 6th National Science Film Festival, as the 6th National Science Film Festival and competition is fast drawing to its close as the last date of submission, 30th November, draws nearer.
विज्ञान प्रसार और नेशनल काउंसिल ऑफ साइंस म्यूज़ियम हर साल देश में नेशनल साइंस फिल्म फेस्टिवल करता है और इसका उद्देश्य, इसका मकसद यही है कि कैसे हम अपने फिल्मकारों को और जो फिल्म एंथुजियास्ट हैं, हमारी जो नई पीढ़ी है, यंग जनरेशन है, मास कम्युनिकेशन के स्टूडेंट्स हैं और कॉलेज में और स्कूलों में पढ़ने वाले जो छात्र हैं, बच्चे हैं, कैसे उनको साइंस, एनवायरनमेंट और हेल्थ की फिल्मों की तरफ आकर्षित करें.
Once the contest closes, entries will be shortlisted for screening and final round of contest, which will be held during 9th to 13th February 2016 at Nehru Science Centre, Mumbai. The participants of RVCM compete for the prestigious Beaver Awards, which include Golden, Silver and Bronze Beaver Awards, along with cash prizes, trophies and certificates. Besides the Beaver Awards, there are also special awards for technical excellence in cinematography, editing, graphics, animation and special effects, and sound recording and design. Short films on science, technology, environment and health issues are invited under various categories that include science films made by institutions, by individual filmmakers, by college students, by school students, and science films made by foreign agencies. More details on the competition and web link to registration are available at Vigyan Prasar's website www.vigyanprasar.gov.in.
And in Science Monitor, we'll take a very short break, but we'll be back with more science news. Stay tuned. Welcome back. After the break, you're watching Science Monitor. Let us now have a look at some important science and technology activities happening in India and abroad in our next segment, Science Express.
In an astonishing new feat, a team of researchers from the University of Washington has successfully demonstrated as to how lasers can be used to refrigerate water and other liquids in real-world conditions. The team, under the guidance of Professor Peter Pozowski, have assembled the technology and used an infrared laser to cool water by about 36 degrees Fahrenheit. The technique involves growing laser crystals using a low-cost hydrothermal process. The discovery is expected to find applications in industrial manufacturing, telecommunications, defense applications, and most importantly, biological studies of cell division and enzymes. Astronaut Scott Kelly aboard the International Space Station in his recent tweet has posted a stunning picture of South India as seen from the space. The landscape is seen as a stretch marked by lights and connected by a network of delicate, glimmering threads. Scott Kelly, along with his fellow astronaut colleague Mikhail Kornienko, is on an year-long space mission to study how long-term space flight affects human health. The Indian Institute of Tropical Meteorology, Pune, on 17th November celebrated its 54th Foundation Day. Chairman ISRO Dr. A.S. Kiran Kumar was the chief guest of the occasion. Professor Rajat Moona, Director General CDAC, and guest of honor delivered the 54th Foundation Day lecture on the topic High Performance Computing in India. The event was attended by many eminent researchers and students.
The institution itself was founded on November 17, and ISRO also started in the 1961, and the way things have been going on, a lot of inputs have come from ISRO to IITM. Now, in addition to the capacity building, the future plans of IITM include improvement of weather and climate forecast, extended range prediction of monsoon, and understanding of the basic physics of tropical climate system through observations.
The event saw the announcement of various IITM awards for the year 2014, while the institution of Dr. Ananth Krishnan Award for the best PhD thesis comprising a citation, a gold medal and a cash reward of Rs 50,000 for students was also announced.
Arctic and the Antarctic, the vast icy stretches of the polar regions have always intrigued and fascinated mankind. Today, these once inaccessible corners of Earth are thoroughly mapped and explored, and how scientific stations that study most of the crucial environment phenomena, especially global warming. Recent years have seen much debate on the issue. While a group confirms that the polar ice is melting rapidly, there also exists a view that polar ice caps are more or less stable. In today's In Focus segment, we will explore some of these fascinating theories that surround the poles.
Vast, white deserts of ice. The polar regions of the Earth indeed hold a mystical charm. Inhospitable and once inaccessible, the polar ice caps of Arctic and Antarctic, popular as North and South Poles, are today sites of major scientific experiments. These experiments range widely from biological studies on human psychology in extreme climates to anthropological studies on preserved fossils to, most importantly, environmental effects caused by global warming. In the recent years, many debates have cropped up around the melting of ice caps of the Arctic and Antarctic, which according to experts is caused by global warming. Mounting evidence suggests the melting of the ice caps, the most recent being a finding by a panel of researchers involved in NASA's long-term satellite imaging study. The study reveals that global sea levels have risen 8 centimeters since 1992, and researchers attribute this dramatic rise to the quickly melting polar ice sheets in response to warming temperatures. The finding comes from data and images collected using the satellite altimeters in the past 23 years. The data also reveals that sea level rising is not uniform, with some places showing more than 25 centimeter rise and other regions falling. NASA also predicts that the Greenland ice sheet, being warmer than the Antarctic ice sheet, could result in more serious melting, and since the late 1970s, the Arctic has lost an average of 20,800 square miles of ice an year. While scientists suggest that both poles are melting at an alarming rate because of rising temperatures, a group of experts also suggest that ice in the Antarctic is actually growing. While reasons are unknown, NASA data suggests that Antarctic has gained an average of 7,300 square miles since the late 1970s, and the experts yet are unaware as to how thick the ice really is, as they lack the means to measure it. While debates continue on the effects of global warming on the polar ice caps, it is indeed worrisome what could happen if the climate was to change. The Arctic and the Antarctic together contain about 75% of the world's fresh water, enough to raise sea level by over 75 meters, plunging many human settlements underwater. Not to mention the lost biodiversity in the form of polar animals like bears and penguins. Hence, it is crucial that we all work together to mitigate the dangerous effects of climate change.
Well, that is all for this episode of Science Monitor. Do tell us how do you like our program. You can send your feedback and suggestions. Our email ID is news@vigyanprasar.gov.in. You can also write into us at Vigyan Prasar, C24, Qutub Institutional Area, New Delhi 110016. Well, we'll be back with fresh news stories on science and technology again next week. Till then, keep watching Rajya Sabha TV and think scientific. Bye-bye.